everyone, good morning. I hope you're having a great start to your day. Wanted to hop on and talk to you guys about this today. You don't have to force what God sends into your personal life. You know, I think one of the major things that I see Christians or just people in general struggling with is trying to keep up with quote unquote the status quo. Amen. And so what they'll do is they will surround themselves by people that they think they're supposed to associate with, that maybe it's convenient for them to associate with because they've known people a long time, or, you know, just because it's what society tells them to do. They will get into relationships, friendships, workplaces, whatever it is, just because it's quote unquote the acceptable thing, rather than it being the God thing for their personal life. And they wonder why they're walking in a place of fear. They wonder why they're sad. They wonder why they're struggling. And I want to tell you guys today, you don't have to force what God is trying to send into your personal life. Now, I want to preface, that doesn't mean that you won't ever have to initiate some things. Amen. That doesn't ever mean that you won't have to talk to some people, okay? But when I say force, what I mean is you're not ever going to have to bust through and force and manipulate and try to do all of this mess to make something work if it's sent from God. Amen. It's not to say there won't ever be any warfare or pushback. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you won't have to try to force or manipulate something if it's something that God sends. And God sends good gifts into your life, and that includes people. Amen. That includes your, acquaintances, your relationships, your friendships, and your personal life. This is so simple and so silly, but you guys need to get you some people that you can belly laugh with. I have some amazing friends in my life, and we were up last night just cutting jokes, me and a few friends, and just like rolling over in laughter. At one point I had like tears coming out my eyes because I was laughing so hard. Those are your people, ladies and gents. We make this too complicated a lot of the time. You need people that you can open up to, that you can trust, that are going to lead you closer to the heart of the Lord in your personal life. And so often we're trying to force things in our lives that aren't a good fit because of the expectations of other people, because of what we think is best, because of what we're familiar with, because of what we're comfortable with. And I want to tell you guys, ladies and gents, you don't have to force what God sends, okay? So I want to encourage you, hang around your people. Get around the people that are pulling you closer to Christ, that you can be goofy with, that you can laugh with, that are going to encourage you, that are going to motivate you. And don't take those people for granted, ladies and gents. Quit trying to force friendships, relationships, work atmospheres, whatever it is, if it's not sent from the Lord, ladies and gents. Get in the middle of God's will, what He has for you, and even if it looks different than you thought it would, ladies and gents, embrace that place, treasure those things, and understand that not everyone is meant to be quote-unquote your people, and that does not necessarily mean that there's anything wrong with you. Amen. This is really important for us to talk about today. So often we get offended when somebody doesn't like us or when we don't click well with someone. Guys, there's nothing wrong with somebody not liking you, okay? Even you don't like people for random reasons. You may not like someone because of the way that they walk. That's not fair, right? And yet everybody has these kind of prejudices that we don't even think about on a subliminal level a lot of the time, when so often we are just begging for people's attention. We're begging for people's affection, and we're trying to force them to like us. And God's going, you've got it all wrong. Choose to pour into the people that are pouring into you. Laugh with the people who are laughing with you. Cry with the people who are crying with you. Be there and support the people who are meant to be around you. And don't think that there's anything wrong with you just because you don't naturally click with every single person on this planet, ladies and gents, because we're only making our lives harder when we try to force things with relationships and with people that we are never called to walk with. Amen. So all of that to say, you don't have to force what God is trying to send into your personal life. Amen. Align yourself with godly people who are going to push you closer to God, who you can naturally have fun with, and just let God lead your relationships and your friendships, ladies and gents. It's not that complicated, And again, it's not to say you're never going to have to talk to people or initiate conversations or do anything like that, but it is to say that when you're in the center of God's will, you're going to know it, and it's going to be a blessing to your life, and He will use you to be a blessing to other people's lives. Amen. Hope you guys have a great day. I'll chat with you again soon.